to begin with, what I'd like to do is make some more general statements and comments about how I see dreams and dreaming and how I understand them and why I think it's important for us to work with them. It's true in my experience that dreams have been deeply devalued and dismissed in our culture. And apart from a kind of psychotherapeutic understanding, generally speaking, that's where people tend to go when we think about our dreams, at least in the mainstream culture. Now I recognize I'm sitting here in Many Rivers Books and Tea, and that there are probably some very seasoned folks in the audience. I know that for a fact, because I know a couple of you quite well. So I think it's helpful to remember and to note that dreams, in a very real sense, and I can say this, but it's also going to be of great use and value to each of us if there's a way that we can experience this tonight. Dreams round us out. They help to complete us as beings. In other words, one of the main primary functions of dreams and dreaming, near as I can tell, is to give us that which we don't know that we don't know. That's part of it. The job of the dreams is to tell us what we're not aware of, that we're not aware of. And the question comes up, how can we know what it is that we don't know if we don't know it? And in my experience, one of the great services of the dreams is that they provide a reliable, accurate, and trustworthy view onto those very issues. Plus all the things that I already do know about myself. But really, part of the great value of working with dreams is the way that they open up a view, a vista, onto an unseen layer of reality. I don't really need to be shown the things that I already know about myself again by the dream as much as I need to be shown the things that I don't yet know about myself. So I want to share a quote from Carl Jung, which is on topic. And it comes from this wonderful book that I just discovered called The Dream and Its Amplification. Clearly a Jungian title, if any of you are familiar with Jungian dream work. And it's a compilation from various contemporary Jungian psychological practitioners around the work with dreams. And this particular quote comes from Jung. And he says, the dream is a little hidden door in the innermost and most secret recesses of the soul, opening into that cosmic night which was psyche long before there was any ego consciousness, and which will remain psyche no matter how far our ego consciousness extends. In dreams, we put on the likeness of that universal, truer, more eternal man and woman dwelling in the darkness of primordial night. There, he and she is still the whole, and the whole is in him and her, indistinguishable from nature and bare of all egohood. It is from these all-uniting depths that the dream arises. The standout quality in that passage for me, as regards the evening tonight, more and more as I work with dreams, I have a sense that their job is to tell us about our nature, the nature of our nature. As James Hollis would put it, another well-known Jungian writer, he would say, it has to do with the nature of our nature naturing. So it's an active experience. The experience of dreams, apart from the view that states that they are psychological or psychotherapeutic artifacts, dreams are experiences that we have in a surrendered state while we're asleep. So it's not just, in my view, a production of the mind or a psychological tidbit that I can work with and look at later. It's an actual experience that I have. Sometimes we even have dreaming experiences while we're awake or semi-awake. So it's important to note that too. And I think this is really exciting and important, particularly at a point in time when we seem to be faced, at least from my view, with this enormous ecological challenge and crisis, what we call the ecological crisis, climate change. The dreams at this time, in my experience as I work with them, are also coming through to remind us that there are creative, imaginative ways of responding to the issues that we've become overly familiarized through our daily activities and practices and habits. So, in addition to the dream being a portion of our own naturing, dreams operate on multiple levels at the same time. Dreams operate on a level of mental reality. Dreams also operate on a level of feeling and heartful reality. Dreams also have a physical-like quality to them. We could call it a subtle physical quality. And dreams also speak in the language of intuition. One of the favorite things about my work that I love the most is when I have the opportunity to help people dispel misconceptions that we may have built up throughout the course of time around our dreams and what they might be seeking to show us. You know, as an example of the devaluing of dreams, it's pretty much true that in any culture today, in any mainstream culture around the world, to call another person a dreamer is to call them a bad name. You know, it means, yeah, Travis, he's a dreamer. He's got his head up in the clouds. He has no idea what's going on down here on Earth. So, along with this devaluing, there's a potential for a reclaiming. And I really feel in my work, what I see a lot is that people come to the dream work thinking, well, I had this dream, you know, I had this disgusting, nasty, scary, frightening dream, and I want to have good dreams. You know, I want to get rid of these disgusting, nasty, frightening dreams. That's a worthy pursuit. And at the same time, in my experience, the nastier, the uglier, the scarier, the better. That bad dreams, so-called bad dreams, are really coming to tell us something important that we deeply need to know. And that also has to do with, in Jungian terms, we could say, the quest for wholeness. And as Jung himself said, I'd rather be whole than good. And I'm voting for that ticket myself. So, dreams tell us reliably about the future, about our psycho-spiritual well-being and health. They also tell us about our physical health and well-being.